what a bad day to be a Johto fan of Gen 2, man. It's a bad day just if you happen to like a specific Gen 2 starter's max evolution. We're talking about Typhlosion. I'm sure a lot of people have seen the memes. I'm sure a lot of people have seen the posts. Basically, as we're talking about Typhlosion, he's just he's a troublemaker Pokemon now. It's really one of those ones that's going to be grouped in with other bad Pokemon that are not appropriate to like. A byproduct of the leaks where someone leaked a background story about a Typhlosion doing a little bit of gaslighting, doing a little bit of interspecies stuff, some really gross, off the wall, goofy things that just happened to get leaked, and that is unfortunate. If you are a fan of Typhlosion, I really do apologize, and I don't think this is going to be something that's ever going to be wiped away. It's going to be memed on for the rest of existence. Typhlosion is just a ruined Pokemon at this point. A lot of people are comparing it to like Gardevoir, Lopunny, and Vaporeon. I don't think it's like that at all. I kind of think this is more along the lines like Mr. Mime or like Hypno, one of those Pokemon where it's kind of, like a PDF thing is where it's in that realm of things. The actual memes that are being associated with it are like Diddy-esque. If I had to put them into a little grouping or something like that, I do apologize. And it does seem like the Gen 1 propaganda is just getting pushed further and further. I made a joke about it where I was basically like, man, I wonder how many of the other fire starters are going to be completely destroyed just so that people can only like Charizard. It is very convenient timing. It is very funny that this happened to pop up around the same time that a lot of the 151 cards are being pumped. And a lot of that set's going for crazy. I mean, have you seen what some of those cards are selling for? Have you seen what some of those crazy things are actually pushing for? I sure have, and if this was any other set, there'd be a whole lot of contention about this. There'd be a whole lot of people that are basically like, hey, what the hell? This is some kind of manipulation. This shouldn't be this price, but no, but of course, because it's 151, people are going to just be like, well, that's the way it goes, baby. This is what we saw all along. This is the way stuff is going. It's not exclusively Charizard either, Venusaur and Blastoise. So basically, that entire set is just getting this cush treatment, just getting pushed around and getting elevated by a little bit of pumping or a little bit of buys or something like that. If you look around, you can kind of see them. Here's a couple examples of what stuff has been going for. It's a goofy time frame right now, and I do feel sorry for people who like Typhlosion. It's unfortunate. You're not going to be able to just like live any of that stuff down. It's like the same thing where I tell people my favorite Pokemon's Gardevoir. The memes for it are relatively funny. It's a relatively easy thing to lean into, but that's because people put like a look onto Gardevoir. This is like a whole separate thing where someone made a backstory about Typhlosion as being a regular creepathon, basically just being a real just all creeping into people's bedrooms and making sure people don't. It's a weird story. I'm not gonna go into it, but it's a whew, what a day, man. Typhlosion is just completely ruined. I bet Blaziken's next because Blaziken's also kind of popular. I bet something's gonna come out where Blaziken basically is just like he's like a closet freak or something like that, just into some really freaky weird shit, and someone's gonna like publish a story. Not to say there's not scaly stuff about Charizard. There's plenty of that, but for some reason people are like, yeah, that's not a big deal. That didn't come directly from Game Freak, so we're not gonna do it. It's just, man, really is one of those things. If you like Vaporeon before like the whole thing came out, then I mean you probably understand this treatment. I do think it's a little bit different. Yeah, kind of a little bit more of the Hypno treatment with that. It's just half tinfoil hatting, half joking. It does kind of seem like a big old push for like 151 stuff. It did happen to come out around that same time. It's just one of those things where you can't help but wonder, like, it's like a coincidence. It probably has nothing to do with each other, but at the same time, a couple things kind of really kind of point and lead into one thing or another. It's weird that Typhlosion did get some treatment in Legends Arceus, but typically hasn't gotten treatment before. Like, regular Typhlosion just gets completely left out of sets. It hasn't received any special treatment, but I mean, for Alligator and Meganium haven't either, so we're not really seeing it. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's just really weird when you look at it. It just has an icky feeling kind of all over. There's a lot of people who said that this is a big turning point for them with Pokemon. There's some people whose Typhlosion is their favorite Pokemon, and I'm going to think that's probably going to change here in a little bit, especially since that came from Big Daddy Game Freak themselves. Once again, don't really want to discuss the leaks too much, but man, this one's fucking everywhere. And there's a ton of people wondering, like, Virginia didn't know what the hell was happening, and she likes Typhlosion a lot, and she saw that shit and was like, oh, well, that is mad unfortunate. Good thing I like Blaziken more. You better not do anything to Blaziken. You guys better not, okay? Keep that fucking gross shit in your pants. Fucking keep that stuff far away from the mainline Pokemon stuff. We don't need that here. We already have enough problems with people just doing some weird Joker shit with our fan base. That's all I got. Just this fucking place, dude.